Hello, Mr. Maine. This is Steve Palmer, and I'm on the Board of Assessment Appeals. I'm here with Gisela, Karen, and Pam, and we're all here to hear your appeal.
My sister Sandy, she's the one that's going to do the talking because she's a trustee and she can tell you more than I can. So she's on the phone too. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. You asked what we're appealing?
Yes, just want to give us some highlights of your appeal.
Okay. We're appealing the shed that's the 800 square foot one that when I originally filled out the forms, I said it had wood for storage, and I forgot to add that it also had a storage bin where one of the tractors was parked, and on another part of it, it has the chickens' coops where the chickens are stored. So that shed is used for multiple things. And I guess it was rejected because it said that it was storing wood and it was for personal use, but the wood is sold for income to the farm.
Okay.
And I think my brother sent you pictures of the shed.
Yep, I'm looking at them now, actually. I see wood and the tractor, and I see chickens.
Right.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, that's it.
Okay. Gisela, Karen, or Pam, does anybody else have any questions?
No. No. No questions.
Okay, I think we're all set.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to be doing our decisions next week, and then 2 to 3 weeks afterwards, you'll receive a decision in the mail.
Okay, that's perfect.
Okay. All right, good enough. You have a good night.
Everybody. Okay, you too.
Thank you. Kenneth Maine
has left the meeting.
Should we do the minutes now, Adele?
Sure.
I move that we approve the minutes as submitted. I second. Pam?
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Okay. Not that they say much anymore.
No, they don't. But you got them all in order?
Yes, I did. If you think of any questions that you may have as you're reviewing things, before the meeting. If you shoot me an email, I'll see if I can get the answer so that I can make things happen quicker.
You mean on the ones we're going to review on Monday?
Yeah, if you review
Okay.
them before the meeting, you have a particular question that might take a little bit of, looking up stuff for you. If you email me, I'll try to have looked it up and have the answer for you before we sit down and try to come up with the decisions.
Okay.
If I can get it to, nip it in the bud a little bit so that there isn't a lot of dead time where I'm looking something up here for you. It might be helpful to keep things moving along.
Yeah.
Thomas Switz and Julie Leonard
has joined the meeting.
Hi, Tom. Can you hear me?
I can. Who's this?
This is Adele.
Hi, Adele. How are you?
I'm good. Will you state the name and the property location of what you're appealing?
Yes, it's Julie and John Leonard Jr., 49 Kids Way, Stonington, Connecticut.
Hello,
And
Tom.
Adele, I'm going to merge. Julie's in Florida. Otherwise, she'd be doing it, but I have all her stuff here, so I'm going to try to merge her in right now, if that's okay with everyone.
Yes, that's fine.
Great, thank you. Julie, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Great. Adele, can you hear me?
Yep.
Great. So, Julie, you're on with Adele and probably Steve
Hi, yes.
Palmer and
Steve Palmer,
Yes, hi, Steve.
Gisela, Sharon, and Pam.
Hi, everyone. Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you for doing all this. I know it's nice volunteer work, and we appreciate it.
With everybody, with so many people, when you speak, will you say your name before you talk so we can, because this is being recorded, so that we know who is speaking?
Okay.
Tom Switz, yes, I will do that.
And Julie Leonard, yes.
So, tell me how it works. I mean, usually I sit in front of you. This is Tom Switz. But since we're on the telephone, do you want me to just go through our presentation, which Julie had dropped off to the town hall?
Yes, this is Steve. Yes, that'd be fine. Just go ahead and proceed on the highlights of the petition, and if we have any questions, we'll chime in at the end.
Very good. This is Tom Switz. Thank you, Steve. So, Julie and John, we sold them their house at 49 Kids Way back in August of 2018. It had been listed in June of 2017 for $949,000, and they ultimately purchased it for $600,000 a year and a couple months later. And unfortunately, I live on Kids Way, so I'm very fond of it, but the market was not nearly as robust and strong as the sellers thought and as I thought. So ultimately, we followed the market down, and Julie and John were the only ones that ever made a bid on it. It's appraised with the town at $827,800, and we would like to see if the town would consider dropping it down to $650,000, which is $50,000 over which they purchased the house for. The town records will show $610,000, but there was a $10,000 credit at closing. And I did work with Julie in giving some comps to her, which she dropped off at the town hall, which were all closed in 2017, which I think is the year that we really have to focus in on. So the first comp was 23 Pequot Road, which is, just over near the nature center, and that closed at $580,500. Now, Julie and John's house is approximately 4,000 square feet with a finished basement. There is a pool in the backyard. It has 5 bedrooms, but it's very dated on the inside with lots of wallpaper, and the kitchen is not an open floor plan. And there is really no way outside of just spending probably $400,000 or $500,000 to opening that kitchen up to make it an open floor plan, and everyone wants an open floor plan today. Nevertheless, 23 Pequot Center Road sold for $580,500, and that sold in September of 2017. And Julie's house is 1.93 acres. Pequot Depot Center Road is 1.12 acres. They have 9-foot ceilings and an open floor plan, 3,039 feet plus an additional 1,700 feet finished off on the lower level. So they have a total of 4,939 square feet. That was built new in 2017, so a much newer house than the Leonards. Then the second comp we looked at was 473 Pequot Trail, which actually was one of my listings. I listed it for $775. It sold for $695. We thought we did very, very well when we sold that. And that buyer and his wife have been trying to sell that house probably 3 years after they bought it. And they've been unsuccessful for the last couple of years having it on the market. And they are down below the price that they bought it for. That was 3,606 square feet. That was built in 2001. Had a beautiful gunite pool in the backyard. And again, a very open floor plan, which people seem to like. The third comp that Julie presented was 116 Farm Home Road, which closed in May of 2017 for $644,000. That was built also much newer in 2005, 3,350 square feet, and that sat on 1.54 acres. And I'm just doing my cliff notes here. The fourth comp we had was 208 Long Walk, which closed in October of 2017 for $605,000. Long Walk does back up to Kids Way, which is where Julie's and John's house is. So they're adjacent neighborhoods. That was 3,080 square feet, built in 2002. And again, that had the very nice open floor plan. I can go through the bedrooms on all of these and baths if you'd like to. The last one we looked at was 42 Peacock Court, which of course is a much newer subdivision also over in the Foxdock section. Very, very high values in that neighborhood. That was sold in June of 2017, and that one was 3,000 square feet, just under, and that was 0.93 acres. And I'll tell you in 1 second what that closed for. I'm sorry. Hold on. Sorry, I don't have a desk in front of me here. That one closed at $600,000 even. So let me go through the bedrooms and the rooms, if you don't mind. So Peacock Court was 10 rooms, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, built in 2002. And then we go back to Long Walk, Village of Long Walk. That was 8 total rooms, 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. And then that did have an area, a full walkout basement, which somebody just finished off. And then I go back to 116 Farm Home Road. That was 10 rooms, 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. And then I go back to 493 Pequot Trail. It was 9 rooms, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. And then Pequot Sequel Center Road, 9 rooms, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. The house in Kids Way has 5 bedrooms, so there's 1 extra bedroom, but it does not have the open floor plan, which everyone is looking for these days. And Pequot Trail had more acreage, but the rest of them were very comparable in acreage. So those are the comps that we would ask the committee to look at, and then just take a look at the assessment. We believe that given the history of the listing and the fact that it was unable to sell for the starting asking price of $949,000, we had to continually mark it down to an ultimate sales price of $600,000. That the appraised value that the town put on in 2017 at $827,800 was too high given market conditions. The Striders owned the place at that point in time. They were looking to sell, and they were moving to Washington, D.C., and so they never really fought the assessment. But after Julie and John purchased it, we started talking about it, and we said we thought it was prudent to at least come back and speak with the town and see if they would consider dropping it down.
Has joined the meeting.
So those are the comps that we had for you, and we're happy to try to answer any questions.
Steve here. I don't have any other questions. Pam, Karen, or Gisela, does anyone have questions for Tom Switz?
I have no questions. I have no questions.
I have one question. This is Pam. Hey, Tom. Just wondering,
Hi, Pam.
was
How are
there
you?
a bank appraisal done when the Leonards purchased the house that you could share with us?
You know, that's a good question. Julie, do you know the answer to that? I do not know the answer to that.
I don't know the answer to that. When I get home, I can go through my records for the closing and find out. Or let me see if I can find John, and he might be able to answer that. I don't think there was.
I think you took an equity line. This is Tom Switz.
Yeah.
An equity line, so there would not have...
I don't think there was a mortgage on it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. That was my only question. This is Pam.
Okay.
Steve, back now. Are there any other comments you want to make about this property?
Sherry Gill
John has joined the meeting.
To your knowledge, was there a bank appraisal done on Kids Way when we bought it?
Yeah.
Well, we didn't finance it, so why would there have been? Why would there have been? Okay. This is Julie. John thinks there was a bank appraisal done.
So
This
this
is
is
Pam.
Tom.
That
We
would be
can...
helpful to have that information. If he can find it,
Right.
email it to Adele. That would us.
Okay. I'm in Florida, and my records are in Connecticut. Would I be able to get it to you in 2 weeks' time?
I think that might be outside our decision-making time.
Your time?
This is Steve.
Okay. I'll see if I can get someone to go to our home in Connecticut and go through our files and see if they can find it.
Yeah, this is Tom again. And just so you know, John Leonard has a compromised immune system. Otherwise, he and Julie would be here in Connecticut on the call with me in Connecticut. So they are trying to get back as soon as they can. But given the airline issues and COVID-19, that is why they are.
We've been stuck here for quite a while. But we're hoping to get back by the end of next week.
Steve speaking. I guess if it is possible, we'll have to go forward and make our decisions. Our time frame is next week. But if it is possible for somebody to find it, so we're more than willing to take a look at it.
This is Julie Leonard speaking, and I'll talk to John and see, who did the appraisal, and I'll call them directly and see if they can fax it to me.
Okay.
Or Tom. Yeah.
Thank you. And this is Tom speaking. Just so you know, I used to be a licensed appraiser myself, and I have been a realtor for 40 years in Stonington, Mystic. So many times, the appraisers and I are all good friends, and if they're running into a roadblock or something they don't think is right, they'll just call me and ask me what my thoughts are on the marketplace and what I'm seeing in there. So since I was a licensed appraiser, I feel very comfortable, being able to do a market analysis. So, okay.
Okay. Once again, we're making our decisions next week, and then in 2 to 3 weeks, there'll be a notice going in the mail with our decision on this petition.
This is Tom.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Appreciate all your time and appreciate your volunteering in this important role. So, thank you.
Yeah, and this is Julie Leonard. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay. You all have a good night.
Okay, thank you.
Too. Okay, bye-bye.
Tom. Good night. Thomas Switz and Julie Leonard
Has left the meeting.
Mr. and Mrs. Gill, can you hear us?
Yes.
I can hear you, yes.
Okay. Will one of you state your name and the property that you're going to be appealing?
All right, I'll start. This is Brian Gill, and this is the property is 45 Church Street in Mystic.
Hello, this is Steve Palmer. I'm a member of the Board of Assessment and Appeal. I'm here with Gisela, Karen, and Pam. So we're all here to listen to your appeal. and we can start now.
Great, thank you. It's just 4 points. I don't know how much time is allotted for us, but I appreciate the opportunity. Do we have 10 minutes, or I'm just curious?
Yeah, 10 minutes is our target time.
Okay. And I was just also, I've been a resident of Lebanon, Connecticut for 30 years. I'm a little bit familiar with the appeals process there, but this is the first time by phone, and I don't know how it's going on your end, but it's interesting. I'm assuming that you have the documents that we transmitted.
We do.
Okay.
Yeah, so
all right,
I think
great.
The best course of action usually is to touch on the most important aspects of it, and we have all everything that you've sent in.
Okay. Yeah, we just purchased the property in August, and we're looking to retire there. And we got a notice in February that the assessed value was revised, increased slightly. And so I asked the assessor for the previous property card and the current property card and what changed. And so that's what raised these 4 questions. And I guess the first 2 maybe are more significant than the other 2. The second 2 are more curiosity, but might come into the value. So the first one is the previous property card and the current. The previous one had an average, and the new property card shows above average for the bathrooms. We have a bath and a half, and you have the photos that show what the 2 bathrooms look like.
I am not seeing the bathroom pictures. Is anybody else?
They're in the second link on the website.
Second link.
There we go.
So it's the first, and it gives a little narrative, but the first 3 pages, the house is built in 32. The tub is, I don't know how old the tub is. I don't think it's modern or the sink or the toilet. The upstairs lavatory, that might be in the last 5 years, but there's some cracks on the side. I mean, if anything, I would consider this bathroom as an average, not as a modern. It's not like a walk-in tub or anything. So I'm not sure why it was changed from average to modern as far as the bathroom.
Okay.
And one of the comments as far as the revised appraisal cost or what our estimate is, I'm not sure what the codes are behind the card. So the formula between an average and a modern, I don't know how that affects the value. It may be insignificant, but whatever it is, it should be adjusted.
Okay. Guess we can move forward to do you want to go over several? I think it's 4 different points.
Yeah. Okay. And then the second item, this is maybe more of the adjustment for the money is the building grade. The building grade is listed above average on the lot that we have. The neighboring lot, which has similar building grade, and we're 0.29 acres, and they're 0.51 acres. This is Elm Street, 4 Elm Street. If you look at the assessed property value, I think it's $77,000. The assessed value for the land. Ours is 76, essentially the same, but their value on their land, they're weighted average. We're rated above average. So I don't know if that's the difference with the assessed value for the land, but money-wise, it seems significant difference. In other words, we have 0.29 acres, they have 0.51. The assessment value is essentially the same. And the only thing I can think of is that they're rated as an average building grade, and we're rated as above average, and it's the same grade. I don't understand
Excuse me, this is Steve. The building grade is usually a grade on the house itself, not to do with the land. Land will have a value, and then the house grade is a condition. I'm just wondering.
Okay, no, on the property card, there's two ratings. One is for the rating of the building, and the other one is for the land. That's right. And I'm not talking about the building. I agree that the building itself is very good.
Okay.
But the land is above average for the grade. Let me pull that up. Yeah, no, I'm not talking about the building, the land.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, land.
Let's see here. It's so on the new property card, I guess on the front page on the lower right, it says good, average good for building grade.
Yes.
And looking at the property card for 4 Elm Street, we share 200 linear feet. It's a long lot line there, and there's a couple pictures on the second attachment that you hopefully have. The rating of their lot is average. So ours is average and good. Theirs is average. Their lot is over 50% more size than ours, and it's essentially the same value. So it doesn't. I'm not quite sure why that is. Seems like it should be comparable.
Okay, we will take a look at that.
All right. Okay. The third bullet is and this is minor. It's more of a curiosity. The previous property card, we had a certain square footage for the wood deck structure, and now it's increased. And I'm not disagreeing with the size of the wood walkway, but I guess the call out on the second page of the property card, it lists as a wood a deck wood, and it's 154 square feet, and not covered, not a porch, but it's at grade. When I consider a wood deck, I think of something with a railing that you're overlooking something. This is like really a walkway. In other words, if I took it out and had flagstone, how much would that change the price? And if you see the photos, there's wood planking there, but if I was to add wood planking further out, I don't know. I guess I'm looking. I'm wondering what the value is of that, and if we were to, like I say, make it a flagstone, would that would lower that square footage, that gross area square footage, and would it modify the price significantly or not? And I don't know if you know off your hand. It's a minor point, but I was curious how that's calculated.
Yeah, we wouldn't know that right now. We're just here to hear the appeal, and then we do our research and make our decisions at another time.
Yeah, I mean that deck there, it was not modified in the past several years, but for some reason it was increased from previously. So I guess the calculation was wrong and it was added in. But it's a minor point. It's more of a curiosity. All right, and then the other one is, I guess it falls in the same same thought as the attic space, and just comparing the attic with like the basement on the second page of the property card. I agree it's the same square footage. It's on my question with the attic though. It's unheated, so it's not really usable in the winter. In the summer, it gets very hot, and also the slope of it. It's reduced as far as actually usable square footage. Is there any adjustments that are made with consideration of the attic and the usable space of an attic compared to the basement? They're both shown as the same square footage, but I don't consider them both same as far as usability for the square footage.
what is the height in the headroom in the attic?
Right. Okay.
Karen von Roofer Hills and Francis Hills
Has joined the meeting.
The maximum height along the peak it's maybe 6.5 feet, but it's, and I can give you the, better dimensions, but it's, you're, as far as like 5 feet or usable space, 5.5 feet, I would say it's less than a 2/3, or only a quarter of that is really walkable, without crouching.
Okay.
So that's, I can give you more specific dimensions if that's going to make the difference.
It may help if you could get that information to us.
Okay.
What the actual heights are, or maybe a picture or something like that. That might help. You could get that to us in the next day or so. That'd be great.
Okay. And so that was it. Those were the 4 points. And I'd like to clarification on how. I guess the big one is again the difference in the lot assessments for myself and my neighbor.
Okay, we will take a look at that. And do you have a email to give us the picture for the attic?
Sure. Yes. Absolutely. I mean, we've been corresponding, I guess, with the assessor. Should we send it to her or yourself, or?
No, it'd be right to the town hall. Adele?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, I guess the address that they've been, or the email that they've been corresponding with would be fine?
That'll be fine. We'll take it and we'll process it and forward it to you and put it with the file.
All right, perfect.
Okay. Great.
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you very much. This next week we'll be doing our deliberations, and then within 2 to 3 weeks you'll get a letter in the mail for that determination.
Great. Well, thank you. We appreciate your time.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
You have a good night.
Bye. Sherry Gill.
Has left the meeting. A participant has left the meeting.
Ms. Von Roofer?
Hello.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, you can hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay, if you can state your name and the property you are appealing.
Sure. My name is Karen von Roofer Hills, and I'm here with my husband, Francis Hills.
Hello.
And we're appealing 17 Diving Street in Stonington Borough.
Hi, this is Steve Palmer, and I'm here with Gisela, Karen, and Pam, and we're here to listen to your appeal. We're all board members of the Board of Assessment and Appeals for Stonington.
Great.
Thank
Hi,
you.
everybody. Thank you
Hi.
for taking the time to listen to our appeal. As I stated, it's Karen and Francis, and we're at 17 Diving Street. And just to give you some quick background on us, we fell in love with Stonington back in 2011 and did academic rentals for a few years until 2015, when we decided we wanted to be full-time residents here and purchased our house in July of 2015 and have been full-time residents here since then. And we're also members of the active members of the community. I'm the sanitation commissioner, a member of the board of Warden and Burgesses, and Francis most recently curated the Rowley McKenna book for the Historical Society, which was a project that took over a year to create. I now wanted to reference the tax appraisal, which we submitted to you guys last week, as well as the letter we submitted this morning to everyone. Just want to make sure that everybody has a copy.
Yes.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Great.
Thank you. Okay, so in sum, the tax appraisal, as you know, obviously the town appraised our home in 2012 at $654,000. Then in 2017, it revalued our property at $794,000, which is a $140,000 increase.
In preparation for the appeal, we in turn have done our own had our own tax valuation done for 2017, and this came in at $615,000. This obviously represents $179,000 difference in valuation, and actually even comes in $40,000 under the 2012 valuation. So we actually would now like to summarize the points from the tax appraisal, as well as the additional arguments to justify our request for an appeal. I'd like to start with the listing price history prior to purchase. It is on page 1 of the addendum if you happen to be going through the document. And in our letter, I also quoted the relevant statistics. So our house went up for sale in May 2013 at $789,000, and 2 years later, by sitting on the market, it was reduced in April 2015 to $649,000. And we, in turn, purchased it a few months later in July of 2015 at $575,000. We find that this type of listing history is not always available, but it is for our home, which is why we wanted to present it to you, because we feel it shows that our house valuation is incorrect in that the value that you assigned to it was tested and it failed. The house was priced at a slightly lower price than the town's valuation for 19 months and did not sell. After 26 months on the market, we were easily able to come in and buy it at $575,000. If the valuation had been correct, someone would have picked it up much sooner. Okay, I now wanted to turn to the market conditions, which is also on page 1 of your addendum. And in summary, this, as you can see from our letter, the assessment shows that 12 months prior to our valuation, as well as from July 2015 to October 2017, the median sale price was stable. So again, we feel this justifies our concerns about the $140,000 increase of our property value. Now we'd like to turn our attention to the comps. And again, in the addendum on page 1 and 2. So in general, there were 5 comps. They were all located in Stonington Village. They're all antique colonials. The first 3, which are the most relevant ones, are all in the same condition, 2 of them being average, 1 actually being above average, similar acreage, similar square footage, all have a minimum of 1 car parking. 1 actually has 2 car parking and 1 has a garage. 2 out of the 3 have no water views, just like our homes, and 1 actually has obstructed harbor views. And then the last 2 remaining comps are evidence both a higher-end comp and a lower-end comp. So before I get into that, I wanted to just remind you of the statistics for our home, 17 Diving Street, which is also an antique colonial, has 2,000 square feet. Its condition is average. We have 1 parking spot, and we have no water views. And I also wanted to let you know that we have not filed for any permits nor done any work to the house since we purchased it, except take some trees down and paint the living room and fix some damaged siding. So the 3 comparable comps are 12 Grand Street, which is $149,000 below our valuation, yet it sold for $60,000 more. The second comp is 42 Broad Street, which is $267,000 below our valuation, yet it sold, again, for a higher price, albeit smaller, at $7,500 more. The third comp is 77 Water Street, which also is $142,000 below our valuation, yet it sold for $100,000 more than our home. And then to go into the higher-end comp and the low-end comp. So the high-end comp is 2 Cannon Square, which, based on your valuation, claims that our house is worth only $68,000 less than 2 Cannon Square. Even though this house is superior in quality and it's been updated, it includes 4 fireplaces, a 2-car driveway, an elevator, and is almost 3,000 square feet. And it even has some obstructed bay views. Then the lower end comp is 16 Hancock's, which, based on your valuation, claims that our house is worth $345,000 more. It may be smaller and inferior in quality, but it is above average in condition and also has obstructed water views. And in addition to those 5 comps, we also wanted to just briefly address the neighborhood, meaning our neighbors, immediate neighbors on Diving Street, which obviously has some diverse different buildings, but we wanted to highlight the discrepancies here as well. So, and this data can be found on page 2 of the addendum. So our neighbors include 11 Diving Street, which is west of us, and this house was valued by the town at $705,000. This example claims that our house is worth only $90,000 less than a 3-story, 3,700 square foot house with a separate garage and studio space and open water views. The other neighbor is 19 Diving Street, which is east of our house. And this house was valued by the town at $386,000. This example claims that our house is worth $408,000 more, even though this house is good quality and has amazing views. We've been up there, open views to Watch Hill, and it's sold for only $30,000 less than ours. The third neighbor house we're quoting is across the street, 14 Diving Street. The town has valued this home at $575,000. This example claims that our house is worth $220,000 more than a similar-sized house across the street, which has a garage and also, again, has limited water views. So, in summary, hopefully we've made it abundantly clear that our house is significantly overvalued by the town, and we request that you amend the valuation from $795,000 to a fair, which, according to your mission statement, is your responsibility, and a realistic value of $615,000. That was sort of the summary of what we wanted to share with you, and we welcome any questions.
Okay, thank you. This is Steve, and I don't have any additional questions. Gisela, Karen, or Pam, does anyone have any questions?
No questions.
No questions.
Okay.
Great. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for your time.
I guess remind us of the next steps, please.
Yes, next week we'll be doing our deliberations and making our decisions, and then within 2 to 3 weeks afterwards, you'll receive a notice in the mail with our decision.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thanks, everyone, for your time.
Much appreciated.
All right. Take care.
Stay well, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Karen Von Roofer Hills and Francis Hills
has left the meeting.
Andrea Miller.
has joined the meeting.
Ms. Miller, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Please state your name and what you're appealing.
Andrea Miller, and I'm appealing an assessment for Iny Center LLC and Drea Marie Miller LLC.
Hi, this is Steve Palmer. I'm a board member of the Assessment Appeal. I'm here with Gisela, Karen, and Pam, and we're here to listen to your appeal.
Okay.
So you can start when you're ready.
Okay. Did you receive my my documents?
No, they did not. They didn't come in until 5:45. We were closed at that point. They will be forwarded to them tomorrow morning.
Okay. Okay. Excellent. Okay. So I think I must have just missed something, and because I was starting businesses, and so I think I missed a signature or a form to fill out. So I'm basically just here as a formality because so the assessment was inaccurate, and so I'm here to, I guess, just present something that's more accurate. So I don't know exactly how you want me to do that. So if I could get a little more instruction, I would appreciate that.
Sure. This is Steve. So you filled out the property declaration for one of these locations. I'm just reading what you had here, and there was, I guess you work from home and from 80 Stonington Road?
Yes, exactly. So I worked, one business is just online, and so one of the property items is a laptop that I use for both businesses. So they said that was something I should mention, that some of the things are a crossover in both businesses. And one business has a physical location.
Okay, and I have one quick question for Adele. Adele, have you seen this document that was sent in already?
I'm looking at a document now. It lists laptop, desk, massage table, and then it lists secondhand furniture with some values. Is there an attachment to this?
I did put an attachment. I said it both ways, just in case the attachment would not open.
Okay, I'm looking at the one that says Iny Center LLC.
Iny Center LLC, yes. The attachment is exactly the same. I just wanted to make sure there was two forms.
Okay, because I can't
two ways to open it.
Yeah, I can't open that attachment.
Okay.
And
that's why I did it that way, just in case.
And the one that you've got saying Drea Marie Miller, there's an attachment there, but there's nothing in the body. I can't open that one either.
Okay, so that one is, the only thing listed in that is the same laptop and a desk. So it's the total amount is $1,700. So it's the laptop and a program that I use for that business, and then just a desk. That's really all that is for that business.
Is that also
listed on that one?
Is that also declared on the Ani list?
I did declare that on Iny Center as well, yes. And so they, the last time I spoke to someone, they said to mention that I use that for both businesses.
Okay.
So Adele, are you able to open, or do we have enough information at this point, or do we need more to do our work?
If the Ani attachment is the same as what's in the body, then I don't need anything for that because I got it in the body of the email. If the Drea Marie, if all it said was that the laptop and the desk, and that's already on the Ani one, then we can just make a note of it. I don't need to actually open that one.
Okay.
All right.
And
I don't have more questions.
I will forward the list to the board members tomorrow morning.
Okay, is there anything that I'm missing? Anything else I should have included?
As long as that's everything you use in the operation of either business, then that would be everything.
Okay. I wasn't sure about things that like get disposed of quickly, like something like candles and that sort of thing, or I don't know. Like I don't know how.
You have on your
So it'd be
list a massage table and supplies, 100.
Yeah, it's pretty much included in there, but I have repeating, like I have to buy them, repeatedly. So
How much a month
I wasn't really sure.
How much a month do you spend roughly on those supplies?
I mean, I was pretty generous with that because I don't go through that many. So I think I was pretty generous in the amount that I put on there.
Okay, so that is your basic monthly supplies?
Yeah, that's my basic monthly supplies, correct.
And all of the things that you list, you've got after them a number like massage table 80. Is that what you're estimating the value is?
Yeah, that's what I'm estimating the value is.
Okay. Okay, Steve.
Is that the right way to do it?
Yep. Unless, if you know what you paid and when you purchased it, we would depreciate them. But sometimes when things are very old, you don't have that information. And then we would want it this way. I just wanted to clarify what the numbers were.
Yeah, like our entire business, pretty much everything I bought secondhand. So I think it's probably already depreciated to its extent, I would say.
Okay, I think, Steve, we've got the list clarified. Yep.
Okay. All right. Gisela, Karen, or Pam, does anyone have any additional questions?
No questions.
No questions. No questions.
Okay. I think we're okay and we have enough information. Going forward here, we make our decisions next week, and then within a couple of weeks, you get a notice in the mail stating whether there was any kind of change or no change.
Okay.
Okay?
Great.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we're all set. Have a good night.
Okay, you as well. Thank you so much.
Andrea Miller
has left the meeting.
I'll email all of this over to you tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, I've got an email here from Marsha. Our 7:30 appointment, she lost her letter, but we emailed her the information to call in.
Did that happen today?
Yeah, looks like it happened just at 4 o'clock today.
Was there any response? Was it email or was it a phone call?
Marsha said she called and did not have the letter. So,
Okay, this is Martha Slater, right?
yeah, I'm reading. They sent me a copy of the email, so I'm not sure what.
Martha Slater has joined the
There you
meeting.
go.
There we go.
Yep. Mrs. Slater, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you?
Good. Could you please state your name and what you're appealing tonight?
My name is Martha Slater, and I'm really, I'm just looking for clarity. I've been kind of looking around. My taxes surprised me this year and took me by surprise. They've been climbing. So I was looking around at some of my neighbors, and I just really needed some clarity and understanding, and maybe in the end, it will benefit me. But I want it. The property is 2 School Street in the borough.
Hi, Martha Slater. This is Steve Palmer, and along with myself, Gisela, Karen, and Tamara here, we're all board members of the Board of Assessment and Appeals.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
Good.
Good.
I'm not sure we're going to give you a lot of clarity today, but we can listen to any kind of points you want to give us about the property, and what we can do is do our research, but we would do our due diligence, and then from there we'll take a look at the valuation that's listed.
All right, that sounds fair. Thank you. I have Bruce Kelly with me, and he's helped me kind of understand some of these cards. So I wanted to tell you he is here with me, and he may interject if I'm not getting my facts straight. Okay?
Okay.
Can I get his name again?
Bruce Kelly.
Thank you.
Kelley. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So, let's see. What I'm concerned about is the land value at 2 School Street, and I just kind of want to compare it to my just 3 abutting neighbors, because mine seems very high priced, and the surrounding abutters seem more reasonable, their land appraisal. So what I was doing is I was looking down at the bottom of the card, and I'm looking at the land units, and I'm looking at the unit price and the size adjustment, the site index, and the condition. Is that condition, is that CON stand for condition? On the land line evaluation on the bottom of the card?
Yeah, I don't have all of them affect the unit price. I don't know exactly what the definition of each one of them would be. Adele, you might get a test.
Condition.
A little bit better than I could.
Condition is basically what it is. It is the factors that affect the individual piece of property.
Okay. So my abutting properties next to me that are very comparable, because they're one in a line, one on either side of me, and they all of them have similar views, and they're very pretty. They're not waterfront, but I was looking at, I'll start off with the first one, which is 11 Water Street, Lynn Kimmerly, and her land unit is 0.1. So I'm just going to tell you right off the bat, my land unit is 0.08. So theirs is 0.1. The unit price, of course, is the same, and the size adjustment is a little different. And I'm just wondering what would constitute the differences there in the size adjustment. Mine is 7.18, and theirs is 6.25, although they have 0.02 greater land units.
Okay. As I said, I don't think we're going to get answers to any of this, but what we will do is look at that for you.
Review it?
This will be,
that's good.
You'll just make points of contention here, and we'll review it next week.
All right. So that's another thing. Their condition is valued at 1.5, and my condition is 3. And I'm not sure why. I'm working on my yard. It's been, slow progress, but I'm working on it, and it is really improving, but not to the extent that theirs is. So anyways, their land value is $405,000, and mine is $745,000. And I just can't understand that big discrepancy. And so I'm asking for some clarification and for you to evaluate that, if you could, at your convenience. Also, the other property is on the other side of me. One is on the right and one is on the left, and that is One School Street. And that has a land unit of 0.9, and their size adjustment is less than mine too. And again, I'm not sure what size adjustment stands for.
Jeff Upchurch
has joined the meeting.
Hi.
Hi, Martha. You can go ahead.
Hi. So I'm not sure what unit price is, because again, mine is higher. My size adjustment is higher than these two abutting properties, yet their land units are greater than mine. So, and again, on One School Street, the condition is 2.5. So my house really hasn't had any love and and care in the garden, except what I've done, and in the yard. And I'm not sure why their conditions are graded lower than mine. So that's something I was concerned about. The tax on the land really jumped over the last evaluation, and it did take me by surprise. I do live there. I'm live there alone, and I'm been working on the house alone. I'm single, and I'm a nurse at the hospital. So I've been able to do it by working a lot of overtime. But it's just this last increase really took me by surprise. So I'm hoping you can look at these abutting properties and help me help myself or understand. Also, I looked at Ed and Elizabeth Smith's house, which is 7 Omega. That's diagonally behind me. But they have very pretty views, too, very similar to what the three houses have. And their land it's smaller. It's only 0.5. But their land, again, their condition is 1.5, even though they've lived there. And their size adjustment is 10,000. I just don't know what size adjustment means, but I'm sure you do. And their land is valued at $324. So out of those four properties, mine has the greatest or the highest number for condition, which it's been really uncared for so long, except the small things I've done myself as a gardener. And my price is much higher as compared to my abutters. And I'm just hoping that I know you guys know what you're doing, and this is not my specialty at all, but I just wanted to bring it to your attention, and maybe you could see something or recognize something that would benefit me. And I know that most of these taxes are correct, but just to me, the discrepancy is great, and I just like an explanation for it or an adjustment for that.
Okay, we will take a look at all. Quick question for you. This is Steve.
Hi, Steve.
If you looked at the property card for everything else, whether it's rooms, bathrooms, does everything seem to be accurate?
Yes, but I wanted to ask you too. If a house only, if a small bedroom doesn't have a closet in it, if it's a small room, is that considered a bedroom? If there's no closet, it's just a square room. They were using it like a sitting room or something, but it's. Right. I would say it's about what size is that room about? It's about 8 by 12, but it doesn't have a closet in it. so on the card it says it's 3 bedrooms, but really I was told that, and I could be wrong, that if it doesn't have a closet, it's not counted as a bedroom.
Dell, you might be able to test that better. I mean, some people
That's
call it a bedroom.
a bedroom. That doesn't constitute a bedroom just if it has a closet. With a lot of the old houses, especially in the borough, there are houses that don't have any closets. So a room that can be used as a bedroom can be counted as a bedroom.
All right. Well, I'm not worried about that. Anyways, I'm just that I'm comfortable with, and I'm not picky about that either.
What I'd like to clarify for you is this is the Board of Assessment Appeals. They are not the people who did the assessments. They are an oversight board not connected to the assessor's office, and that's why you come to them. Then they look to see if a mistake has been made or if an adjustment should be made. But they can't really answer explanations because they're not the ones who made these assessments. If you want clarification on what certain terms mean on the card, you should give a call to the assessor's office and talk with Marcia Standish, the assessor, and she can explain that a lot of that process to you.
Okay. So did I speak to the wrong people tonight?
No.
No, you didn't. You didn't.
Okay.
This is Steve. Because you did appeal, we do look at everything, especially these lots. We'll look at the houses around you, and we'll make sure that you're getting a fair shake.
Okay.
So if there's any errors or anything, we will take a look at it. We'll do our due diligence.
All right, I appreciate that.
Okay.
All right. So what I'm really concerned about, Steve, is really just the land value.
Yep.
That's all I'm really looking at. Do you want to say something, Bruce?
Tell them what the land values are.
All right. So the land values are. I just want to clarify this on the Kimmerleys. The land value is $405,000. That is at 11 Water Street, the house abutting me to the right. On 1 School Street, the house abutting me to the left is Julia and Michael Roberts, and their land value is $648,000. Kimberly has 0.1 land units. The Roberts have 0.9 land units, and my property is 0.8 land units, and it is valued at $745,000. Also, their condition on that has a discrepancy from mine on 11 Water Street is 1.5, on 1 School Street is 2.5, and on mine is 3. So that's what I'm really looking for, some understanding and hopefully some comparison and reevaluation. And everything else I'm satisfied with.
Okay, we will take a look at that. Gisela, Karen, or Pam, does anybody have an additional question?
No questions.
No questions. Thank you very much.
The process is we'll be looking at this next week, and then within a couple of weeks, you'll get a notice in the mail.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Okay, you take care.
All right, you too, everyone. Bye now.
Bye.
Martha Slater
has left the meeting.
Mr. Upchurch, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good evening.
Hi. Can you state your name and the property that you are appealing?
Yes, my name is Jeff Upchurch, and my wife and I live at 145 River Road in Pawcatuck.
This is Steve Palmer. I'm a board member of the Assessment Appeals, and we're here with Gisela, Karen, and Pam. So we're here to listen to your appeal, so you can go ahead at any time.
Great. I'm sorry that we can't sit face-to-face, but I'll be brief. I just had talked with a few weeks ago before I filed the appeal. I talked with one of the people in the assessor's office, and he told me that basically this is the only way that I could do it. So when he
when the calculation was done for the square footage, I think somehow a mistake was made. So I supplied some documentation that shows the as-built plan, and I made sure that I measured it myself it was correct. And so the actual square footage is not 1722. In my opinion, it's 1648. So that was, I guess this was the only way that I could appeal to get that changed, because I'm sure it affects the appraisal somewhat. That was part A. Part B, I just, in an effort to be fair, I would appreciate if you guys would just take a look at, this is a new home that we built, but we've owned property and lived in town for a long time. So, unfortunately, with all this coronavirus stuff, I've had time to do a lot of looking. So, as I look up and down the road here on either side of me, and my neighbors, and try to make some sense out of size of house versus size of land and assessment and appraisals, it looks a little unfair to me. So I just asked that if you guys could take a look at that. I would appreciate it. That's really the end of my story.
Okay, we will do all that. Any questions from Gisela, Karen, or Pam?
No question.
No question.
No question.
Okay. All right, good enough. We'll be doing our deliberations next week, and then 2 or 3 weeks out, you will get a letter in the mail with our determination.
Okay, I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Okay, you have a good night.
You guys have a good night, too. Bye-bye. Jeff Upchurch
has left the meeting. Has joined the meeting.
Mr. Fiore, are you in the meeting?
Yes.
Please state your name and what you're appealing tonight.
My name is Rick Fiore, and I sent in 2 appeals for Fiore Properties, LLC, and 2 Penguins, LLC.
Well, Mr. Fiore, this is Steve Palmer, and I'm here with Gisela, Karen, and Pam. We're all board members for the Board of Assessment Appeals for Stonington. Go ahead and start with your appeal.
Start with my appeal. Did you get my information?
We have.
Did you read it?
Yes, we have.
Okay.
And this is your opportunity to, if you want to highlight anything special or any new information that you might have, this is your time to
the only thing
forward to the board members.
The only thing that was added was a letter from the town attorney. Did you receive that? That was on Two Penguins, LLC.
Yes, we saw that.
Okay. So you have it all.
Okay.
And I'm assured that you read it. You read everything.
Yeah, I believe I have this. I think there's 37, 36 pages. And
Two Penguins had 31 documents, plus the town attorney's letter, and the Fiore Properties had several attachments. There were 6 attachments.
Yep, I'm looking at them now. Yes, I have it all.
And all of that's been read? And all of that's been read by all the board members?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I read them.
Yes, I read them.
Okay.
Okay. Is any of the board members, Gisela, Karen, or Pam, do we have any other questions?
No, I have no questions.
No, I have no questions.
I have no questions.
Okay, this is Steve. We will be doing our deliberations next week, and then 2 to 3 weeks afterwards, a letter with a determination will be mailed out. Do you have any? Okay. Do you have any other questions for us?
No.
Okay. All right. You have a good night.
You too.
All right. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Has left the meeting.
On the next one, if we get the call from CIT Finance, just to be, so you're aware, they said they're appealing two leased accounts. They sent us documentation on the Norwich Roman Catholic Church on that lease, and we've made an adjustment for that. What we're still waiting for is documentation that the Apple Healthcare is not leasing the equipment.
So they were supposed to bring forward documentation to that tonight?
Yeah, they emailed us documentation on the church one, and we're set with that. We've made an adjustment for that, but they haven't provided us anything on Apple Healthcare, so that's what we're looking to establish, that Apple Health isn't leasing the equipment anymore.
Were they in contact recently?
We've been going back with emails with them, but I wasn't handling that particular account. I'm not sure when the last time we had correspondence with them. I've attached some of the emails that were going back and forth with Greg and Nancy. I think April 22nd might be the last time that we had correspondence. we suggested that they file with you in case they didn't provide us with the documentation right from the beginning, just to cover their rights. And they did give us the documentation we needed for the Catholic Church one, but we haven't received anything yet on Apple.
Where is Norwich Roman Catholic?
I
St. Patrick's, I think.
What was that?
I thought during the thing it said St. Patrick's.
Yeah. Basically, that's the Norwich Roman Catholic Diocese is what the official name was, but it was St. Patrick's.
St. Patrick. Their call-in time is at 8 o'clock. What time do we call it? At 8:10?
I think that'd be fair.
Yeah, I think the 10-minute leeway. Except for that one, we don't have any no-shows.
No, we did. We had the 7 o'clock didn't show up.
Oh, Mackinac, that's right.
Yeah.
Personal property.
They just sort of ran together tonight. I didn't even notice.
Yeah. Do you have any particular way you want me to organize the 11th and 12th on who you're going to make decisions on? I usually put together, if we've got stuff in the same neighborhood, I put them together. You want all the personal property together?
Yeah.
Or?
Whatever works.
Do we have any close together? Last year we had like a bunch of Cove Side, but I don't.
You have two from
We have
Cove.
that?
You've got two from Cove Side this time, so I'll put them together.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Well, we have three hearings on Monday,
Right.
right?
Yes. And anyone who didn't show up, you had stated if by the end of the day on Thursday, if I haven't heard from them, Friday morning, I've got to do the agendas. And you can't hear them unless they're on the agenda. So if I don't hear from anyone by then, I'll try to split the.
In theory, we have more time on Tuesday than Monday because we have those hearings at the beginning of Monday. So.
Correct. It's hard to tell. Sometimes you get right through them quick, and sometimes we get hung up on one or two, and it takes longer. So, but whatever you don't finish, we'll move to the 14th, and I'll put whoever's left on the agenda. So if you have to meet on the 14th, maybe it'll be a short one because you won't have many that you have left to do.
Right.
What I'll do is, once we set the agenda, I'll email you copies so you know who we're going to be on the agenda for the 11th and 12th.
Okay.
And if there's certain ones that you feel will be easy, quick decisions and you want to put them on a particular night, let me know before Friday or the end of the day, Thursday, so that I can put them on the night that you want to do them.
Well, never having done this before, I think Steve and Karen and Pam probably have a better sense of that than I do.
I'm going to defer to Adele. As you kind of have a feel of
what goes faster.
Yeah, what goes faster, and or how how some of them look. I mean,
yeah, sometimes
I'm okay with anything.
Some of the
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay, some of the personal property tends to go a little quicker, a little easier. I'll try to put is on the 11th, since you've got 3 hearings, ones that I think might come to you'll come up with a resolution quicker on.
It'll feel good that we got a lot done, right?
Yeah. And if you do have any questions, if you're reviewing or, and something pops up, shoot me an email and I'll see if I'll ask Marsha or Greg or see if I can get you an answer. And if you ask a question, send it to everyone. And this way I can respond to everyone so you all hear what the answer is.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I know it's going to be a little more difficult because we're not going to be able to just pull out maps and look at them, and we'll get through it.
Yeah.
We need a new system where we can all have the same screen show up that you have, Adele.
Well, I'm going to ask some questions tomorrow on how the system works. I think there might be a way I can bring something up on my screen and share it with you if you're all on computer. I don't know exactly. Yeah, I'm not sure I know how to do that, but I'll see if I can get some instruction in a way so that I can do that for you.
Yeah, that might help make sense of some things.
Yes, Steve. That first day I thought we could see that guy's screen.
Yeah, that might be helpful.
I might
also, do you ever ask for a legal opinion?
Yes, we have asked for them. Yeah.
I did bring up the statute regarding the one appeal, and I'm not sure that I completely understand it.
Which one?
The appeal on the solar.
Okay, that was another night. That was another night. You can't discuss it at this meeting.
Another night, so we can't talk about it. But I mean, if we need to have a legal opinion on that,
that seemed kind of straightforward. But
you would, without getting into a discussion on an appeal that isn't on the agenda, the Board of Assessment Appeals has at different times when it's been a legal question, has asked for a legal opinion. What we do is we get permission. You have to get a number for tracking for billing from the Selectman's office, and then we send the question to Tom Londrigan or Jeff, and we get an opinion.
Okay. I think we should wait till we discuss it because I don't want to start racking up bills for that, which is if we don't have to.
No, I just wanted to know if you'd ever done that before.
Yeah.
If after you discuss and deliberate on an appeal, that if you decide as a board that you need a legal opinion, you can ask for one.
Okay.
The option's there.
And you've used that option in a couple of the cases over the years. It's not often that the board has actually asked for a legal opinion, but there have been times.
Mm-hmm.
And for when we start the deliberations, we'll be starting them at 6:30. So you don't have to come in as early, so I can make sure I've got everybody organized on the screen.
Right.
Yeah. And if anyone comes in to monitor, they won't be speaking because all they're doing is monitoring at this point because you're doing your deliberations.
What about that first day when we have the 4 people here that we're hearing?
Then you'll do the hearings, and then after
you
that.
want us here early though?
I pretty much got a handle on running this, so if you just want to come in 5 or 10 minutes before.
Okay.
One thing about this video and online type of thing, you notice how I've been on time, Adele?
I did, and I hate to tell you, just before you came on, I noticed what time it was, and I said, "So who's running the meeting if Steve's late?"
Is this not typical, Steve, that you're on time?
It is not. No.
Oh.
Usually,
Nothing like getting in the car.
Usually I'm jumping off my tractor and splashing a little water in my face and running down to the town hall. And then I always forget to go to the town hall, and I'm so used to going over the viaduct, so I end up turning around at the fire department, and then going back over the bridge and get to the town hall. Well,
tonight I was coming in, and good thing I left early because they got the bridge, the overpass, 95 overpass at Togwalk blocked off. So I had to get on the highway, go down, turn around, get back on the highway, and then get back off on Togwalk Road to get past the bridge.
Is it road construction?
They're working on the bridge, so you can't drive underneath it.
Oh, yeah.
I did not know that.
It's 8:10. Is it time to make a motion?
If you're ready.
I move we adjourn the meeting.
Yes, I second that.
All right.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Bye. Monday. Thank you.
Bye. We'll see you on Monday.